Today's episode is brought to you by... Based in Sterling, Virginia, Beltway Brewing Company crafts quality local beer. From award-winning session IPAs to sours to traditional styles to craft hard seltzer, Beltway has something for everybody. Beer to go is available at the brewery Wednesday through Friday, and same-day delivery is available daily. Use promo code REAL2REAL to receive 10% off your first order. Visit www.beltwaybrewco.com to place your order and for more details. Sutler is a crowdsourced, hyper-localized app that rewards local users exploring their local community. Sutler lets local businesses connect directly with their best customers, locals, sharing time-sensitive deals and exclusive Sutler specials only offered on Sutler. Locals know best, not an algorithm. Sutler. Trust local. You're listening to Real to Real with Coach Herb and B, a podcast that brings you community and culture with your host, Coach Herb and B.
Hey, y'all, what's happening? This is Coach Herb, and I'm joined by my girl B as usual, and my homeboy Red is in the background, Mr. Ben, and we are joined by, what do you call yourself, an artist, or do you just call yourself like a multifaceted producer, remixer, all of the above?
Right, jack of all trades, right?
I know, right?
I guess I just call myself a musician.
Musician, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And right. Introduce yourself. Welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you here on our platform. It is exciting to see you grow, and we want you to introduce yourself to everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I go by Drew Keys. You can find me on social media at Drew Keys Music everywhere. IG, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. And on my website, drewkeysmusic.com. First and foremost, I'm a piano player. And secondly, I'm a producer. So that's pretty much what I've been doing lately, is producing remixes. So yeah, happy to be here.
Yes, I love the fact that you said I am a piano player first and foremost, right?
Yeah, that's how I started.
Yes. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Blair High School in Low County.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Was that a performance arts or?
No, it wasn't actually. There was a magnet program, like a science technology program, but I was just kind of in the regular program. But I learned how to play outside of school. So how I got started was my mom wanted me to play in the church, right? So she got me to take piano lessons so I could play the church. But of course I couldn't jump in and play in the church right away because church musicians, some of the baddest out there. Yeah. Man, those musicians are crazy. But so yeah, I pretty much took lessons, and as soon as I started taking lessons, I had a keyboard and we made a band, in the neighborhood, and like I barely knew how to play anything, but we made a band. We started practicing, we started having shows, and since then, I've been playing with bands ever since.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Cool. What's some of the bands that you ended up playing with?
The first band was Shut 'Em Down Band, like in the neighborhood, in like the Silver Spring, Langley Park neighborhood. And then after them, I played with KOB, Knockout Band. That was an uptown band. Mm-hmm. And then I played with TMA, Too Much Attention. They were like on the PG side. Then I played with New Vision. They were pretty popular back then. We played a lot of shows after New Vision. Let's see, I played with the Go-Go Symphony. It was a mix of like classical music and go-go. And we had Juju on the drums, and it was pretty cool. Then
right.
I played with Untold Secrets and Changing Faces. Those were like kind of like more so mature bands, like playing grooves, a lot of Congo grooves with those bands. And
this is a lot so far.
Yeah, a lot of bands. A lot of bands. I could go. I'm probably missing some. Trill Band was a band that I created, and then after Changing Faces and Trill, then I got with TCB, Bounce Beat Kings, and TCB.
I feel like I've heard of Changing Faces. So I'm not a big, even though I've lived here for a very long time. I'm really never really got into go-go, I could say. I like it, but back when I first heard it, this was what, in the 80s? 80s and early 90s. I felt like a lot of the music was the same. It sounded the same to me. Let me just say that.
I mean,
even though they were playing, and it's funny because they were playing a lot of covers.
That's why, because if a song is hot, every band's going to be covering the same song.
Yep, the same song. So I'm like, man, I swear I just heard this a few minutes ago. And it's funny too because, back then they used to put a lot of go-go music on the radio. They still do kind of, but it's like a certain, basically go-go hour.
Yeah, go-go hour.
Like a crick hour. It's a specific time.
Yeah.
And they're not playing it freely.
Right.
Yeah.
And they would just, back then they would drop it in a rotation. But now it's like they have a specific time for a lot of guys. Or back in the mid-90s, they had a time where you could basically, because we had cassette tapes, and so you would get ready and press record, and a lot of my friends, that's how they got a lot of their music is like, the Perfection Band, Hot Coat Sweat, some guys would leave, I heard Trouble Funk, EU, Chuck, all of those guys, and it was just, if a song, like you said, if a song was hot, they were covering it, and it was like, some of it was better than the original. Some of
it's like that sometimes, because it's like once you put that beat behind it, it's just sometimes it just really just hits harder than the original. Like,
right.
People have told me that about like some of my remixes, like they like it better than the original, and I'm like, wow, dope.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, like, because sometimes the remixes just have a little bit more rhythm to it, like even though the song is hot and people listen to it and all of that stuff, but when you do the remix, it's just like okay.
A lot of those bands that you named that you was a part of, I remember listening to a lot of them.
So I was catching a few of them too,
going to the go-go, like being fully in it. And then when you mentioned TCB, I was like, oh, I remember all of that. All of that happened with that. That's pretty cool. But so I love the fact that you have, kind of grown into like this whole, like, I'm going to produce my music. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to try to see how I can grow. And then the remixes that you're creating, I mean, they're popular. That made me like the song even more.
Dope.
That's what I'm saying. When it starts to hit, you're like, oh, okay, okay. I might have to do a duet or something on TikTok.
Yeah. Hey, Beatbox is going crazy on TikTok. It has like 180 videos now.
Yeah.
It's like every day I get on IG or something, I just get tagged in a new video, and it's like I don't even have to promote it anymore. It's just like promotes itself. It's like I just get content sent to me. I'm like, okay, let me save this and repost this. Like,
I love it.
That's cool. You stay in touch with a lot of the guys that you used to play with, Drew?
Some of them, through all those bands, that's at least like 100 guys. But
that's when you kept on mentioning them, that's why I was like, damn.
And when you named them,
I was like, a lot of people.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
how it is. But I still do keep in contact with
Yeah.
you guys. Yeah,
Y'all group
more
chats
so
is
the
on fire.
musicians. More so the musicians.
Right.
I guess, we just bond more because we're both on the back line. But yeah, and on the last song I did, the last remix I did was Streets by Doja Cat. And I actually had TCB's bass player, Johnny, he came and did a sick bass line on it. So,
Nice.
now I'm collabing with people, if they
Yeah.
want to for the tracks. But
Yeah.
initially I was playing my own bass lines on these. Like I haven't even really played bass that long. I've only had my bass a few months, but I'm laying down the bass lines on the remixes, and that's what kind of gives it the live feel, really.
Yeah.
So that's part of that's really part of the vibe, that
That's
bass.
cool. That's cool.
I love that.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Thanks.
I
So
know that
Drew,
makes
So Mr. Red, Mr. Ben, he's in the background, all quiet and stuff, but usually he gives us all them more intelligent questions.
Hey Ben.
So,
Yeah, we were talking earlier, but
yeah,
yeah.
he's a big time research and detailed guy. So we're gonna get real, and Mr. Ben is gonna give us the real questions.
dope.
so I know B and Herb are both familiar with GoGo, and hopefully a lot of our listeners in this area are as well. And I know, Drew, we were speaking that it's kind of finding its way out into the general atmosphere through these remixes and things like that. But for people who really aren't familiar with the background or what the how what GoGo really means, are you kind of able to explain that a little bit with your background?
Yeah, sure. So
So
so basically,
this is like the Black history of go-go.
yeah,
That's
Black
right.
History
Yeah,
The
you
Month.
got
Black
to give
History
like
Month.
the black history of it, right?
Got you.
Yes.
So basically, go-go music came about in like the 70s, really. And the godfather go-go is Chuck Brown. So Chuck Brown, he's originally from either North or South Carolina, and he moved up to DC, and he basically had this style where he was mixing like funk and like different Latin types of grooves and just all types of stuff, just with a live kind of feel. And like it wasn't really called go-go at first. It was just kind of like the style that guys were playing. And it's really heavy, syncopated, using a lot of percussions. So you have your congos, you have your timbales, you have drum set, you have a bass guitar, lead guitar, keyboard players, and you have your singers and rappers. So the the word go-go comes from basically when the bands are switching between songs, there's never a break in the music, so it's always like a smooth transition to the next song, so that's why they call it go-go. But it's basically really a heavily syncopated form of live music. So if you kind of think about like rock or something, like it's just like a really live, like, and high energy type of music, and it's really best to see live. And I know that's not the easiest nowadays, but yeah, it's really an experience.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that it is.
And it's funny too
Yeah.
because like I thought, oh man, I, I was living in New York at the time, and a buddy of mine calls me and was like, "Hey, Chuck is downtown in Manhattan. You want to go see him?" That's the first place I saw Chuck Brown because
Oh
it was so
man.
hard to get like a go to a go-go around here
Mm.
Mhm.
when I was younger, because I was playing basketball. And usually a lot of times when the go-go's, they'll be like on Friday night or something where it's like packed house. And I saw Chuck Brown in 1989 in Manhattan, New York.
I know
And
that show was crazy.
yeah, Chuck used to put on a show. So yeah, I'm glad that you spoke of him, the Godfather of Go-Go.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chuck Brown is
God rest
definitely.
his soul. He was very talented individual. He
Very.
made stuff just flow and sound. It was very cool.
Hmm.
Yep.
And I just remember his signature hats.
Yeah, the hats. Yep, he always
Right?
had the hats.
You
Yep.
know, so that those hats be real fresh. I don't know.
Run Joe, run Joe.
Yep, those hats, and had that guitar. He
Mhm.
had that guitar. He was leading
Mhm.
same time. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
he was running things. A lot of um I guess lead mics in the bands nowadays don't really play instruments on stage like that. But some guys still do play the guitar or the bass while they lead. But
Right.
yeah.
Who
Yeah.
who inspired you?
Uh, who inspired me? Lately, I've been inspired by like Robert Glasper, um, K Trinata.
Oh, I love K-Trina.
Production wise, I like Kanye's production, and locally, I'm just inspired by like the whole like local scene, just like go-go in general. It's just is always an inspiration. Inspired by just gospel music in the church. Just I just draw from like a lot of places really when I create.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
interested, since you kind of talked about who's inspired you, to also, something I noticed on your website is that you are a music teacher. So
Mm-hmm.
whether,
Okay.
depending upon the age and stuff like that, who you're inspiring to play better and to hopefully continue their musical career endeavors outside of just a classroom setting. I was kind of interested to see what ages do you work with. Do you have a preferred age that you really like to work with, whether it be younger people because you feel like there's a little bit more potential there, or older because they kind of maybe pick up on a little bit faster? Just kind of interested to hear a little bit more about your teaching background.
Sure. So I first started teaching years ago, maybe at this point maybe like 8 years or so ago, 8 or 9 years ago. I taught my little brother how to play keyboard. It didn't really stick with him, but I went on to working with some music contracting companies, some teaching companies where I would teach private lessons in students' homes. So I started off with younger kids and taught private lessons. Then I got into teaching in schools with before and after school programs. And at first I was only teaching piano, but then with the second company I got with, they wanted us to teach multiple instruments. So I ended up teaching drums, violin, guitar, all types of instruments. So I had to learn how to play those other instruments to teach them to the kids. So, and I don't work with those companies anymore, but I do still take lessons privately. And most of my students are younger. And I've worked with students as young as 4 and students as old as up to like 60. So the range is pretty much everywhere. I can work with
What,
any age.
would
That
you just
was a
say, man?
wide range.
Would you
4 to
just say?
60.
Did you say 60?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
60. Yeah.
All
Herbie,
right, keep
right in
was
there,
going.
bruh. You
yeah, I
good.
was yeah,
He
I
I,
got
was
I
you.
might, I might be able to get in now.
yeah, nah,
He
for
got
sure.
you.
It's never too late.
Hmm.
It's just about if you're going to dedicate the time and practice. But it's definitely different teaching different age ranges. Like I feel like when I'm teaching kids, like I'm teaching them the bare basics, and it's really fun when kids are learning and they're really getting into it and they're really practicing, and it's just like, yo, it's like, like I can tell they really like it, and it's
Yeah,
like it's really inspiring. But then when I teach someone that's older, like my age, it's like I can kind of teach them like more in depth. Like I can really teach them like how I really play, like show them, okay, these chord progressions and this and that, and if you want to be a producer, I can teach you this and that and the third. And it's more, I can kind of, I think I can give more
yeah.
when the student's older, but most of my students are younger. So, you know,
Okay.
yeah. So I do virtual lessons, and I do a few in person, but most of them are virtual nowadays.
Hmm. I like
So, with a illustrative playing career as you've had, do you have any favorite venues that you have played? Obviously, things have kind of shut down right now, as you mentioned,
Yeah,
moving to a little
man.
bit more virtual. But has there been any fun stories of like a place that you just,
I'm
the
sure there've been some fun stories.
yeah, that
Yeah,
are
man.
good enough
It's
to
a
share.
family show, y'all. Family show.
But yeah, no, for sure. I think some of my favorite shows have been with TCB, the latest band I played with. Pretty much TCB is known as the Bounce Beat Kings. Out of the bands in the area, they're one of the top bands. So we were playing like 3-4 shows a week. On busy weeks, we hit like 5-6, like on like really, really busy weeks. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite shows was when Ari Lennox, she heard when TCB hit Shea Butter Baby, how we covered it. She reposted it on her Instagram. And then when she came to the 930 Club, she invited us to close out the show with her and hit the song with her.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, we performed
I
a song
love
with Ari
that.
Lennox, the 930 Club. That was so dope. That was so dope. One of my
Yeah.
favorite shows. And
Right.
luckily I
You better had a
saved it.
candle lit.
Yeah, I recorded it too because she went live. Someone went live from her Instagram and posted it on IGTV, and then I screen recorded that, so I still have it.
Nice.
Another favorite was in Atlanta. Ari had TCB down there again, and we opened for her. So we did a set and opened for her down in Atlanta. Also, I played in Atlanta with New Vision. This was about like maybe 10 years ago, but I don't remember what the venue was back then. But with TCB, the venue was called I think it was called the Playhouse or Clubhouse, something in Atlanta. Another
What?
favorite Playhouse,
Oh,
Clubhouse.
hey, man. That I don't know. Maybe it's a different playhouse
Her, where
in
you been,
Atlanta.
bruh?
Nah, in Atlanta. Well, he might have played there too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a normal type of concert place.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Not that,
nothing too
not
Thank
that
you
crazy.
for
playhouse.
clarifying that.
Thank you. Yeah,
Nothing
family
too
show.
crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy. There was a time.
I'm messing with you, bro. I love the strip club. That's right.
Nah, it wasn't a strip club though, but it does sound like it was one, but
Right.
nah. Where else was another show? L.A. Yeah, TCB went to LA and we played a show out in LA. That was pretty dope. Another dope one was the Go-Go Symphony. We played at what's that place on H Street? The Atlas. Yeah,
Yes.
Go-Go Symphony played at
Yeah.
the Atlas. And we had the whole symphony, like, yeah, that was a dope
See,
show.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Man,
So those are some of
played
the
a lot.
memorable ones.
Yeah, you played a few cute, cool venues there.
That's
Yeah.
right. He's saying it so ever so gently. It's so
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I didn't play that, this place over here real quick.
Pretty much
Yeah.
everywhere, like Echo Stage.
Yeah, no big
Yeah.
deal.
I would say what's your favorite venue within our DC area? Because
in
for
the DC
me,
area.
I'm in love with the Anthem, and we haven't gotten to experience it enough with the whole, COVID situation. But like that venue is a beautiful and also well put together sounding stage. The
Yeah.
930 Club is after that for me.
Yeah, 930 Club is really good.
Yeah.
They're owned by the same people, I think.
Yes, they are. Mhm.
Yeah, I've been to the Anthem once. I saw Mahalia there, this British singer, but I haven't performed at the Anthem.
Mhm.
But the Anthem is nice. But as far as places I performed, I think I like Echo Stage. It's because I think as far as DC goes, it's like the biggest venue in DC I've probably played in. Like it can just hold a lot of people. Before it was Echo Stage, it was the DC Star, and before that it was called the Tunnel. And I played in it in every phase of it.
Yeah.
When it was the Tunnel, it was like a really like kind of
That
hole in the
joint
wall
was
spot.
broke down.
It was
That joint was falling
driven by the tunnel.
apart.
yeah.
I've driven by the tunnel. I just never went in.
Yeah, it's evolved over time. Like it was the tunnel, and it was just it was
DC
just a
Star was
hole in the
like it's
wall.
rebirth real
Yeah.
quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm about to step back out. And then you go in there, you be like, it still kind of looks the same. All right, that's okay. And then when Echo Stage came, you were like, all right, they spent some money in here.
Yeah, now
They put
Echo
it
Stage.
together.
Yeah, they actually had like a lot of acts come through, like a lot of big acts would come through Echo Stage. Well, they used to, but
yeah, Echo Stage is fun. It's a lot of youngins.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends who's headlining. You know, that determines the crowd, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I decided to go there for Diplo for my birthday one year, and I was like, I probably will not do that anymore because of the crowd that is attract. You know, it's
That's
difficult.
what I never went to. Somebody tried to convince me to go to a couple of them, but I never went. What is the vibe like? Is it like, do they have like?
No, he's serious. It really depends on who.
Yeah, it depends who's there. Because I mean,
playing.
of course, if you go see Diplo, you know everyone's going to be in there,
different vibe.
raging, or
Really?
yeah.
I had some people ask me to get my ID, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is interesting. Oh, you're really trying to take it and get in. There we go. That's a whole different thing. I forgot about how that goes.
Oh, flat out. I didn't even realize. I was thinking like,
that's how old we are,
I
man.
thought they were carting you for a drink. Never mind. Okay.
But I really think it. I think it really depends on who's playing there.
Yeah. But
it's a beautiful venue, though.
See, Black History, Ben. You're learning Black history.
Well, to speak of Black history, let's talk about, you know, bringing that forward into what's currently happening. And Drew, I know one of the things, talking to Bianca, she was really excited to bring you on tonight because she's been hearing a lot of your music for an app that Coach Herb loves maybe a little too much, but he really enjoys his TikTok. And, you know, we talked a little bit about your, Herb alluded to it. He's like, you know, a music producer, artist. So during this time of quarantine, things have been shut down. I was kind of curious, have you been able to focus a little bit more on the producing side of it since, you know, you haven't been able to get together with bands or get together maybe and do those kind of things that you normally would? And then can you talk to us also about, you know, what have you been up to during this time that, you know, definitely has gotten Bianca really excited?
Sure. So, I guess my last show, go-go show, was like the end of 2019, and then I kind of had to step away from the scene for my job just because my hours got really crazy and I couldn't really keep up with the late night gigs anymore. And then my schedule kind of freed up, and then boom, COVID hit in 2020. Then, you know, everything was shut down. Shows kind of started to trickle back with block parties, and in Virginia, you know, Virginia is pretty much open now. There's go-go's going on in Virginia, but I never really got back into the live scene really. I've kind of stayed back just to stay on the safe side. So it really has given me way more time to produce, and you know, since there's nothing else for me to do musically. So, I mean, before I split my time between gigging and then producing, but lately it's just been straight producing, and, you know, with some teaching on the side. But yeah, definitely being able to hone in on producing has made me better lately. And, you know, normally when I would produce like R&B and like trap tracks, and I would kind of keep go-go separate, as like, that's when I'm performing, I do go-go. When I produce, I'm making like R&B and trap. And then like lately I just kind of had an idea, and I'm just like, you know, I was hearing that song Bust It by Erica Banks, and, you know, the tempo just sounded like a perfect bounce beat tempo. That's like a type of go-go beat. You know, that's the beat that TCB is popular for, the bounce beat. So I just heard it, and I'm just like, okay. I'm like, bust it. I'm like, okay, that sounds like it could be a bounce beat. So I'm just like, okay, let me just make a remix. Let me do the challenge, but when the part of the challenge comes where you change clothes, I'm gonna like drop my remix. So that's when I like blended those two sounds together, and then I started seeing the response, and I'm just like, wow, like, you know, I've never gotten this response to my music. Like, even though I've always thought my music sounded good, but I haven't really gotten people to really heavily share and just, you know, just like engage until I mixed,
reposted, and
yeah, exactly, yeah, and until I really blended it with go-go. And the thing I also did was make sure I uploaded it to all platforms, including TikTok. So I purposely target, you know, these songs that are like viral TikTok challenges, because I know people are sharing those songs anyway. So if I make a remix of it, then it's like, okay, someone was about to do the challenge anyway, then they hear the go-go version and they're like, oh, okay, let me just do it with this go-go remix. So because I'm putting out the remixes on the TikTok and reels and everything, it's just easier for people to engage, and it's just easier for people to share. So, you know, I just look on the app, oh, and I see someone tag me in another video, and it's just because they can easily just pull it up on their phone and just choose it as a, you know, as the soundtrack to whatever video they want to make. So I think, you know, that's really been a game changer. You like utilizing this technology, and just distributing the TikTok and Instagram and all those. It's just really, it's making things like spread way faster.
Yeah.
I mean, I
TikTok,
played
my
it for,
favorite hour.
yeah,
Yeah,
I play
Almost several hours.
my
no, TikTok
favorite
is
hour.
crazy. Like, definitely go. You got to check out the beatbox to go-go bounce on beatbox to go-go bounce on
Oh
TikTok.
yeah.
Yeah,
I sent
Oh,
that
I
man
can't do
that
that right now. I
video.
can't do that right now.
yeah, not right now, but that's the most popular one, and it's got about 180 videos on TikTok, and it's just it's just inspiring going through and seeing all the videos people are making with the
Yeah.
remix.
Yeah. I mean, it's fire. I know I was texting them and I was like, yo, I haven't listened to Go-Go in a while, but this joint.
Yeah. I know. She sent a couple to us, and I was like, "You're sharing TikToks?" I'm at work right now. I can't get on TikTok until at my TikTok hour.
And I don't even
After work.
I'm not even the TikTok sharer. That's the thing.
I know. That's why I was all shocked, and I was like, "Uh-oh, she's trying to get me in trouble at work."
I know. My bad,
I
man.
can't be getting on TikTok at work. I'll be stuck there. Can't do anything.
Yeah, it really traps you.
It's addicting, man.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's
Addictive as a mug.
So what I will ask you is, before we end this show, is if you can play you know, both of those clips, Bust It and the Beatbox Challenge, you know, both
sure.
of those, right?
Yep.
And then, you know, tell people how they can get in touch with you, you know, check out your work, purchase your work, all of that.
Sure. And I also dropped a third one too. I did Streets, the song that they're doing for the Silhouette Challenge.
See, there we go.
I did that one as well. And then the Corvette
That's the one
remix
yeah.
is coming soon. So yeah, I can play some clips. Let's see. I'm just gonna go to SoundCloud right now because that's the easiest right now. And let's see. Oh, the SoundCloud signed me out. That's great.
That's all right though. I see, you know, we notice we all put ourselves on mute to make sure everybody can hear everything. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Nice 803 plays in the last 7 days. That's what I like to see.
I probably was about 30 of those. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Nice. So this is the first one that I did. This is Bust It.
And how long does it take you to, like, you know, construct something like this?
So that's Bust It. That was the first remix. Let's see, and yeah, that one went on the radio. They pretty much all been on the radio at this point. But that was my first song to actually be on the radio, and it was the first time DJs actually reached out to me to get my stuff out on the radio. I'm like, wow, DJs are like actually hitting me up. Like, this is dope.
What was the first station that played you?
The first DJ that reached out was DJ Jealousy on 95.5.
Okay.
Nice.
So he was the first one to spin Bust It.
So that joint is actually better than the other one.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So I have never. This is terrible. I have never listened to that song that girl put out. I have not listened to the real.
I know. So like the full song,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of weird, but you know.
But I've only listened to that one.
That's how it is with TikTok, because it's like you keep seeing the video and it's only that first 15 or 30 seconds with the TikTok, and that's all you ever hear. So it was the same thing with me. It was like I kept hearing it and I'm like, okay, this is dope. And I went to sample it and I started listening to the whole song and I'm like, wow, I never really listened to the whole song.
That joint, when you played it, I was like, oh, this is so much better than the real one, and I don't even know the real one. It's already like the way that you broke it down. It's real.
Broke it down a lot better, right?
Appreciate
I'm like,
it.
how do you know how to do it, and how long does that?
Yeah, because like I felt like you sped it up and slowed it down a little bit too.
I actually didn't. It's just the drum pad. It's the exact same speed as the track, but I put like 2 different drum patterns in it. So it's like I have one drum pattern and I have one bass line, then I switch it and drum switch and the bass line switches, but it's still the same tempo, but it's different feels. So it kind of feels like it might be speeding up or slowing down, but it's really still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not speaking a language I understand, but it sounded great.
Appreciate it. It's just, I just did stuff with the beat, but it's
there you go.
Speed.
That's all you gotta tell us.
Yeah.
You did stuff with.
I did
stuff. What happened?
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You put your foot in it.
Appreciate it.
I love it. And if you could play one more for us.
All right, let's see. You want to hear the one that's going viral right now, or do you want to hear something new that's not out?
Oh, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. What do you want
the folks
to check out real quick?
All right, everyone's heard beatbox, so let me play the new one. That's y'all heard that song Corvette?
Yes.
Okay, let me play that. Yeah, you know that's on TikTok.
Right. Yep. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
All my songs are on TikTok.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. That's where I'm choosing all my remixes from. All right, let me pull up this one. All right, here we go. So this, oh, wait, you lost. Hold on 1 second. All right, can you hear me? Oh, did I lose you guys?
No, can you good?
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah,
no, I forgot. My mic runs through the interface of my beat program. So when I try to open up my new this session for the beat, then it kind of, all right. All right. Let's see. Actually, let me play it from my email so this doesn't bleed through. So this should be out by the end of next week. If it plays. Nope, doesn't want to play. Oh, there we go. That's Corvette.
Wow,
Oh.
that was an interesting version. I've never heard
Thanks.
that.
Thanks. Yeah, it's not
But
out yet.
oh, well, exclusive.
Yeah, that was the exclusive. That was the exclusive.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that was the exclusive. So that
See, I like
isn't
that.
out yet. Thank you.
You probably gonna have a lot of TikToks with that joint.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
To get all the
That's
TikTok
great, man.
videos. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming on. This is like history lesson with a twist.
That's right.
You know.
Thanks for having me, for sure.
And tell everybody how they can get in contact with you and how they can check out your work.
Sure. Get in contact with me by visiting my website, drewkeysmusic.com. That has all of my beats, my whole portfolio on there. You can contact me to book me on lessons through the website, and also on all social media platforms at Drew Keys Music, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat. I'm on all of them. So Drew Keys Music, just search that and you'll find me everywhere. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for the next remix. I will try to drop them at least every 2 weeks. I'm aiming for every 2 weeks at this point. So I'm just trying to stay really consistent. Mm-hmm. So yep, that's
and
how
you got people expecting it now, right?
Yeah, people are definitely
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
I could be one of them. Like
that's right. I know when you drop something, I'll be right
there. TikTok hour.
TikTok hour. Yep. All right. So yeah, the one that's really blowing up is Beatbox. If I can, maybe I'll play us a little bit of that, and that's my last one.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Beatbox. This is the one that's going crazy. Face shots to the face, don't trip on your lips. You keep on this shit now.
That's right, Herb.
That is Beatbox. That's Beatbox right there.
That joint's fire.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I was like listening, then I pulled up one.
Yeah.
You did that. Somebody was on their joint. That's good. Now I'm about to be on this thing until midnight. Which is not good. My wife is gonna be like, "Can you get off?"
TikTok gets real, huh?
Yeah. Well, everybody gets their own separate TikTok hour in the house now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they gotta go to their own section of the house. Go hit your TikTok hour.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We truly appreciate it. Like,
thank you.
You have no idea how much it means to us and how much it means to represent you during Black History Month and, have you showcased.
Yep. And then we probably would love to have you on the show one day, another time, to maybe go over maybe your other ventures.
Sure.
When we get out of quarantine.
That's right.
Yeah. Sometime in the near future, maybe
see something live, right?
Yeah, because we want to know whether what you've been doing as far as maybe other ventures, like other groups that you're going to be playing with, or you're going to be doing solo stuff or whatever. So
sure. Yeah.
Coming on. Thanks for joining us, guys. And from now until next time, peace.
The Real to Real podcast is presented by Herbert Williams Bafo and Bianca Moskaitis. Our producer is Ben Runyon. Our technical director is Nick Patry. Audio and video lead is Megan Kotner. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow and like us on Facebook and Instagram at Real to Real and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or anywhere else podcasts are found. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. It's been real with Coach Herb and B.